Hi everyone, welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Mr. Nitesh Salvi, founder and CEO of Pocket 52 Games, the largest poker network running in India and other games as well. Nitesh is a graduate of IIT Bombay and has been a serial entrepreneur. He started his first venture in 2011 and in 2018 he started Pocket 52, and let's hear from him how has been his journey so far. Hi Nitesh, welcome to your life.
Thank you so much, Priya Ranjan, for the kind introduction. Pleasure to be here and share the experiences with the young entrepreneurs that look forward to start their journey in venturing out to anything that they like, pursue, and want to create an impact in the society.
Nitesh, I'd request you to introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Sure. So I'm basically from Udaipur, Rajasthan. Did my schooling from there, Udaipur, and then Kota. Went to Kota for my IIT preparation. Uh, like everyone's at the young age of 16, 18, the dream of getting into IIT. I was on the same path and then found my way to join IIT Bombay. I joined IIT Bombay in 2008 and spent about 4 years in IIT Bombay. And that's the place I think I'll say changed my life completely from a very different thought process and spending 4 years with the top talents from different places of India and talking about ideas, leading things. So IIT gave me the opportunity to do things my own way, lead something. I was social secretary of hostel, which I think even at this point I feel that one post gave me the idea of leading something. So if I talk about my roles and responsibility with that social secretary role, it was primarily to organize each and every festival which is happening in our hostel, and that's where I started understanding about the budgets, organizing people, and doing the event at the time, finding the audience, and doing something where they actually like. So this is how my overall journey of entrepreneurship started, and then I was very focused on, I wanted to do something more and more on of my own itself. So that's where, like in the third year of IIT Bombay, I ventured into education technology venture Plances with two of my colleagues, friends from IIT Bombay, Vivek and Mirik. And that's how my first venture started in 2011.
Okay. Um, now, now let's talk about your latest venture, Pocket 52. Share some lights on what is the kind of reach you are getting with the current venture. Also, do tell us what is the kind of impact you are bringing to our society through your venture.
Sure. So this is very important when you talk about venturing out into something and you want to do something. The most important aspect is why you're creating any product, or why this is the perfect time, right time to venture into something. So when I was looking at starting Pocket 52, I spent close to about at least 1.5 year, 2 years on researching the overall industry and figuring out what is happening in multiple different platforms which are there in India, not just in India but overall outside India as well. What solution they provide, what problem statement they solving, and things that are missing in these platforms. And from there I overall realized that in coming years, overall real money gaming is gonna get a good growth. And the platforms which are there in around 2018 when I launched Pocket 52, almost everyone is is still at an early stage, and there is a really good potential to overall create a good impact, a good brand, which can create a good roadmap in the next 3 to 5 years journey. So that's how Pocket 52 started. Our idea was very clear that we wanted to have a complete in-house product, a complete in-house technology on which we can do all our innovations that will make a difference and differentiate ourselves with most of the competitors. We started in around 2018 early, spent close to about 7, 8 months in building the initial team to building the initial product, launching the product in the market. We launched in December 2018. So primarily this 7, 8 months were very key important months where you'll face most of the challenges, difficulties, and at the same time building the right team. If I talk about my co-founders, Saurav and Debashish, these two folks were previously connected with me, having good relation and key expertise in the domain that they deal into. Saurav being an entrepreneur, currently looks after complete product and operation at Pocket 52. Debashish into marketing worked previously with me in my first venture as well. So that's where you share a bond and good understanding between the founders as well. And Satyam joined us as a chief technology officer, CTO, and he comes from again a really good technology background. So we spent good time overall and faced a lot of challenges in the early months to actually take off Pocket 52. If I talk about maybe speaking to investors, we reached out to more than easily 100 people to get our initial funds. And that's where, in around July 2018, Mr. Abhigya Sagar invested the first check into the company. And from there, the journey started.
Okay. Speaking of the journey, I'd like to start from the very beginning. Tell us, how was your first day of entrepreneurship? I believe you started right after your college. How it all started? Why did you not join a placement? Having having a background of IIT, that to IIT Bombay. Uh, why would you start on your own right away?
Okay. Okay. So I started in my third year itself. We started the company. So the aim was to create a platform where we have each and every formula listed, so that and this idea came from like while we were sitting at in our hostel room, and we were studying something, and one of the friend asked for a formula, and we went on internet to search the formula. And we struggled to find the right platform or right website which can give us the formula. And that's where we were just started talking about like, hey, why don't we create a website where all the formulas are listed from physics, chemistry, and maths, so that it will make life easier for the students who are preparing in from class 8, 9 onward, class 12th, and then college as well, to get each and every formula in at one single place. So the brand name we created, formulabank.com. So this started in third year, and we started working on this, created a platform, launched some formulas as well, and then from there, the next step came towards creating the content for the entrance examination as well. Like, why don't we create content for young aspirants who are preparing for engineering entrance exams? So while we all were from IIT and had good knowledge about the entrance exams, the content, what needs to be there. So from there, the idea of study material and then video content started. Now, if when you go into entrepreneurship and when you start doing this, you start getting the questions yourself on daily basis. You have a lot of questions, and even today when I wake up, I have a couple of questions to answer. So my idea of working is very simple. I think of these questions and look for the answers. So if I talk about and take you back to my journey in the initial, the questions were very simple: that who will create this content? How will we sell this content? Why someone will come and buy this content? So this is how you'll start answering each of the questions and solve and create the venture out of it. So even today, I do the same thing of asking questions to me almost every day, and then figuring out what are the answers and solve it to build it.
Okay. Uh, Nitesh, now let's talk about the industry you are operating in, the gaming industry. Tell us few things, few interesting things that are happening in the gaming industry. I see it is a booming industry, lot of investor money coming in. How is the industry evolving, especially in the Indian context?
Sure. So definitely, this is a very good growth industry right now, with the increased penetration of mobile internet, and a lot of tier 2, tier 3 audiences now connected with internet and mobile. uh, people are playing on mobile games, people are playing on laptop, desktop as well. And that's where we created skill games where if you have the right skills, you can win money as well. So overall, the industry currently stands about easily 6,000 crore plus revenues, with multiple 50 plus brands working on different multiple games. We Pocket 52 as a brand are more focused towards card gaming, where we have poker as of now. We are launching Rummy by early December. So with these two games, we are more focused towards card gaming, where both the games has been declared as the as skill games in India. Um, Overall, differentiating us from just a platform to play real money games, we have actually created India's first homegrown network, iGaming solution, which actually provides empower other company to launch these games as well. What I mean by that, if suppose you wants to launch a poker platform tomorrow, we can provide you with complete white label solution. And if 100 users are logged in from Pocket 52 and 100 users are logged in from your platform, on both the platforms, we will see 200 people and they can play together as well. So we overall provide a solution where we collaborate the traffic, we pull the traffic together and overall increase the liquidity on each of the platform. So this overall as a network concept, we launched, being the first company in India. Currently, we have 7 partners on our network, 7 brands, which where we empower them to run poker, and overall largest network in India.
Uh, Nitesh, in other words, it can be said that you are building an ecosystem of gaming in India. Having said that, it brings me to a very interesting question. And if you look at the recent happenings, for example, Paytm tried to build a alternative app store, which would compete against Google and Apple. Um, I'd like to know what are the different possibilities and different things happening to build ecosystem instead of building a mobile app or building a platform that is reliant on other platforms such as Play Store app or App Store. What are the interesting things happening in the Indian context, especially when you see apps like the TikTok alternatives? What are similar things you are seeing happening? Can you give us some examples?
Okay, so overall, now in India, we have seen some good brands in multiple different verticals of gaming. There's one vertical where we have individual brands leading individual games. The another vertical is marketplace model, where we have Paytm Games, MPL, similar brands in a marketplace model. Then we have the network model where right now Pocket 52 is there, and a couple of more brands are building on similar lines. But overall, as we talk about the growth of the industry and the change which is needed here, I think I will put my focus more on the responsible gaming and things which are overall needed to regularize this industry. Having said that, one of the pointers that you raised about having a separate Play Store, that's again, or a separate App Store from Paytm Games. That's all connected towards how the regulations are working in India and what Google is following or not. So I think once things are more clear about responsible gaming and what things are supposed to be done by brands, what things are not supposed to be done, some overall license model as well, which gives authorize a brand to run real money gaming in India. I think that makes much more sense. And this will overall give right direction to this industry to grow in right path.
Okay. Nitesh, being a stakeholder of the mobile app and gaming community, you must have seen the industry throughout. Uh, what are some of the vacant areas can you highlight where other entrepreneurs can jump in and start a venture out of it, where nobody is focusing right now?
Okay. Specific to real money gaming, I think so. There are never vacant space. It's more about the right execution. So if you think, say, uh, for any vertical, there are brands always maybe working in a different way, and then a new brand comes in, creates a way out of it, and overall creates much bigger impact than the existing one. Now it all depends on how well are you looking at the execution. So thinking about just talking about an idea of a real money gaming company. Now even talk about, say, marketplace model. There are companies in marketplace model and which are much bigger right now at this point, but still there is a space. Uh, why there is a space? You ask the questions yourself and look for the answers of what different are you doing with respect to any of the applications which is there in the market, and why people can come to you, the overall problem statement or the solution for the business, for the users as well. So if you're able to figure out these things, I think overall finding the vacant space is not more important than finding the right execution, because ideas are never newer. Somewhere someone is sitting and working on some idea. There were poker companies. We created our way out of not just a poker platform, but a poker network. And similarly, there are still ways to overall grow in this market. So after us, all the super apps, you can look at real money gaming. So it's more of the execution than the idea. That's just my belief.
Okay. Since you spoke about super apps, this is one interesting topic I always discuss with others. Um, Tell us what is happening in the super app space. What are the possible super apps that you foresee in near future?
So I think this is very interesting space at this point, and there are no clear indication of who can be in this direction. But anyone at this point, anyone who has a good overall user base, a diversification can be the can look at overall as a super app model. Uh, it can be likes of Paytm or likes of even Flipkart. where the brands are not just focused towards one particular aspect, but with the overall user base that they have, the diversification can be into multiple things. So I think India is yet to see a right brand which is towards super up direction, and we should be seeing the same in next 2 to 5 years maybe.
Okay. Now going back to the regular questions, tell us, Nitish, what are the difficulties you have faced? What are the challenges you have faced so far while building and growing all your ventures?
There are always challenges. I will not say when you're looking at entrepreneurship and building a venture, it is definitely a difficult path to pursue, and there are challenges right from financial to building the team, building the product, your timelines, launching. So a lot of things are there. Like on daily basis, you have something which is happening, and so most important part that I look forward always, if you have the right team in place, which can overall be with you, understand your vision, and overall solve the challenges which are coming in the path. So I think the most important focus for any entrepreneur is focus on the team members. Uh, if you have right team in place, these challenges will be there, which can be financial or uh, gaps between the team members, product problem, development problem. You are planning to launch something by next week, and the delay is happening for, let's say, 3 weeks. So all these things will come together and create a challenge for you. You have funds for next 6 months, and uh, you are not able to close the next round. So you need to start working on what can be the next alternative solution to work out the business from there. So you cannot just look forward to have just believe that yeah, you'll close the round and you'll keep on going with your regular direction that you have, because 6 months runway is a small runway. So these are multiple things which are going to come in any venture that you do, and at the same time you focus on right team. I think I would put team on the first place, then rest everything falls if you have the right team.
Nitish, team building is a common challenge across all the entrepreneurs that I have seen. Um, and since you have built multiple teams so far, let me ask you this question: what do you see in a person when you are hiring them, and you're sure that this is the right guy for our team?
So I think for hiring any person for your team, being the clarity of the role is very much important. So whether I'm looking for, now, if I talk about say just marketing, now marketing have multiple multiple verticals, from acquisition, retention, engagement, growth. So you cannot hire a marketing manager just for the sake of good communication or good understanding of data. Uh, so having this clarity of the roles and responsibility is the most important aspect. And I look forward if the same clarity is there in the aspirant as well. Whether if the person is coming and joining for a junior role or coming for a leadership role. If I look at someone for leadership role, I always look at if the person has the capabilities of building the team, because that's the most important part for a leadership role. Obviously, the person will have good skill set to lead the vertical, but the most important part is if you're able to build a team. So suppose if you are head of engineering, or if you're a vice president product. So these are the profiles where the most important part is you understand the vision of the company. You understand what where you need to take the product and the engineering for next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the line. What are the plans and goals for the company, and how you're building your team along with the same. So if the people are able to create right team and have right culture in place for the team members, these are the few important aspects I look forward on top of the skill set, which is definitely needed for all of these roles.
Okay. Uh, Perhaps my last question to you, or rather, I should say, I have two questions for you. Tell us what are the interesting lessons you have learned as an entrepreneur, which others can learn from this interview, and it will shorten their learning curve.
So, learning perspective, I think you always need to believe in yourself while you are doing a business, entrepreneurship, and venturing into something. You will find a lot of challenges, and uh, if you are not believing in yourself, people actually turn down in few months or after a year, 2 years. But failure is not the thing which you should look at. Spending a year on building something is always going to give you much more learning than anything that you have done in your life, because the responsibilities are much higher at this stage. You are not just building something, but you are taking care of your people. You're thinking of daily the ideas to execute. You are thinking of multiple verticals, not just one particular department. Even if you talk about running a tea stall or building a super app, uh, there is a clear entrepreneurship from running a tea stall as well. If the tea is good or not, to retain the customer for next day, whether the customer is coming twice or thrice a day, or if is going to some other shop tomorrow. So these are all the things even the tea stall entrepreneur will think about. And being a super app, you will have obviously multiple other things to look at. So entrepreneurship will always give you a very different perspective. A lot of challenges will make you more stronger uh, to think in overall life. It gives you a positive direction to the life as well. So these are multiple learnings that I have from my 9-10 years of experience from building business.
Okay. Nitesh, it's been a nice conversation, an interesting one. My last question to you: how do you suggest our audience to start their journey as entrepreneurs?
I think definitely spend more and more time on the research side. Anything that you want to do, understand why, what, and how. These three things are very important. The more and more time you put into this, you'll understand, you'll realize what is happening in the market, and the solution that you want to create, whether it's right, or what changes needs to be there. I think I would not say right or wrong, but it's always evaluation. So you evaluate your idea more and more, and you figure out what needs to be there to take it to the next stage. So just focus on how, what, and why.
Okay. On this note, I would close this session. It was a great pleasure to host you here at TLI. I think our audience would have got a great lessons from this podcast. Thanks for your time, Nitesh, and best wishes for Pocket 52.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and happy to share all the things for the audience. Thank you so much.
Viewers and listeners, you can follow and connect with Nitesh on LinkedIn by typing Nitesh Shalvi. That is it for today's episode. We'll be back with another exciting entrepreneur. Stay tuned to ELI.